I just got out body surfing from the south side of Boca Jew Inlet, and I'm feeling pretty ripe for the earth right now. Danny, my phone's charging, so some weird movements. Danny Minley, absolutely right about a lot of things. You know, we don't crane pain up in here. It's weird. I go through spurts of like not be able to move to spurts of just like just pure energy. It's like I have to think about being tired when I'm exerting myself to be tired. It's pretty interesting. And I remember Danley, about 2 months ago maybe, was talking about opening up your lungs for, as he put it in a recent video, a few powerhouses. Uncanny deductions brings up some interesting stuff too. A lot of it's just a regurgitation of things that I've said to him for the past 2 years or so. But who knows? Maybe all of you guys are just somehow bots. The Ethernet on this little device thing and the speed of it, maybe what's going on is just, I think it's a reminder. I was reminded of this while I was surfing. It's a reminder that we have abilities to communicate from afar without these devices and the U.S. Postal Service and all, telephones. We can just do it. We have a net within ourselves, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of things we may see at times is just a reflection. One of the things Uncanny brought up recently too was, because I just started watching his videos again. It was a while. I go on and off like I do with the kava bars, with his videos. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it'd be better if I could show you around, but the phone's charging. He's talking about how Christ didn't like to be called God or something like that. Maybe that's one of the reasons why us weirdo types, if you guys are out there, why we can't say the C word, because it's a crown, When Christ returns, the churchgoers, for example, won't recognize it. Like Nietzsche said, every church is a tombstone on every godman. They want, under no circumstances at all, for the godman to ever return. So they definitely won't recognize Christ if it was staring them right in front of the face. The mentally ill try to convince the healthy that they're mentally ill because they can't go outside their bookends. This is a simulation of sorts. When you're hanging around people, they're always needing a yay or a nay from you about something. Oh, do you like cats or dogs? Do you like Coke or Pepsi? Or what do you think about the Ukraine situation? Putin's evil, right? Or is it the West is evil? No, we don't crane pain up in here. Fuck them all. If they're all going to go to World War III, let them. We've tried to tell them your leaders on both sides are idiots, but no, they know. They're so caught up with Republicans are better, no Democrats. It's binary thinking. We're coming out of the dominance of such an age with the two fish, which I was meaning to Google it before I made the video maybe. I think the Sermon on the Mount, I think the girl had two fish that Jesus broke apart and made two fish and two fish and two fish and two fish. And it kind of explains a lot of what we've been dealing with. It's all just a spread. And a flood. I think that's what the Levette, I give her credit. I think she said, I think that's where I got that from. The flood represents people. And, there is what is, but with their binaural thinking, it's all illusion. It's, they're all sinning and they won't repent. Sinning meaning signing. They're lost in these illusions, these delusions of signs, of sins, you know. They're all witches. They're all spellcasting. I mean, so am I, but fuck you. So, anyways, with the Sermon on the Mount, the spreading of sin, signing, the binaural thinking, it was the spread of the Pisces. One doubts, one believes, binaural, and then he floated in the air. He went to the Father, which, according to Levette, I don't really. There's truth in the Native American stories. I've learned a lot from Native Americans. Like one time I was chilling with this chick, and we were walking that night, and two bunnies, white bunnies, just crossed our paths and crossed the road. It's kind of strange. And, my Native American friend, Larry, but his tribe name is Tiger, told me what was up with that. But, anyways, the Native Americans supposedly, if you ask them who the Father is, they'd point to the Son. Everything is animated by the Sun. Even the water that was just in. It's moving around and there's life in it because it's moving. It's not stagnant. It's not stuck on some orthodox. It's not stuck on some sin, some sign of the way. No, the way is waves. It's moving. But it's moving because of the sun. The sun is animating everything, even the ground and the air and me. And the main reason why I wanted to do this video is to ask any of you characters on this little box if it's kind of like a version of what Danny Mindley was saying fairly recently about the body changing. It seems like it's gonna sound nuts, but like it just doesn't seem like I don't need as much food or something. Or I'm flushing out. I think it's also a sign of flushing out all the crap, all the sin, all the signs that I was told. And like when I'm flushing it out and it's like out of my head, then I'm releasing my being and the rest of the body of the snares of the mind. It's flushing. And I've been having a couple nights here and there, but like the past 2 nights and especially last night, last night I thought I was dying. I haven't been consuming that much fluid. I don't even know. I mean, it was coming out, it's gross, but like both ends and like violently, and like there was this one point, there was like a shot of like this kind of purple color, or maybe that color. I'm a straight man, so I don't know the name of these fancy ass colors. I know there's some straight men that know the names of bizarre colors, but it was like, purplish, sort of bluish sort of thing. Kind of remind me of the crown chakra too. But I was just puking and just like, it was like electricity. And now I'm thinking about it, kind of reminds me of like, we used to, until I started waking up, we used to get crazy lightning storms here. I mean, my dad was hit when he was a pool guy, hit the pool, traveled through the net, hit him. I worked with two guys in the marine towing industry. Both of their boats got hit. They both passed out as well. And then like when I started waking up, which I was listening to something recently. It's 7 years or so since Trump first started running for office, and that reminded me of what is said in the Bible: 7 years of trials and tribulations. I mean, I think Odin was pecked at for 9 days while upside down on a tree, but I mean, 7 years, shit, man. But letting go, because we shouldn't get lost in man's world. We're different, and that's one of the reasons why the Christ doesn't like to be called Christ. And like the churchgoers, how would they know Christ if it was right in front of them? They wouldn't. But how would Christ know it was Christ in a world that has been hell-bent and designed to keep that? And 666, I think I figured this out yesterday when I passed by the parking here. The handicap spot has 66. The one handicap spot right by the bathrooms. And it occurred to me, I'm like, wait, one more 6, okay. What the group that has been in charge, we all know who it's been. They like to do things in threes. That's why legislative, judicial, executive, Vatican, City of London, DC, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, War of the Worlds, their tripods. They had found a power of doing everything against life. That's what Christianity was rolled out. Lust is sin. The name of your God is oh, or whatever sound you make when you're orgasming. That's the name of the God that created you. And they said no, lust is sin. Anger is natural. Nietzsche said, and thus spoke Zarathustra, through my 7 devils I will recreate myself anew. You can't bring a form of heaven without destroying this first. And reality is changing. And it makes sense that we would go through changes too. Those who have chosen ourselves, who don't have it in us to, the whole world whipped us, had submit, obey. And I had my recent grand finale of that, and I proclaimed I'd rather be dead, because if I did, I'd already be dead. Just the way I see these simulations around me, these binarial yay and nayers, mostly nayers. But the he who brews you, the Hebrews, they found, you ever hung out, my brother-in-law's one, one of the last times I saw him was on a Christmas, and man, he just bummed out our freaking Christmas, man. Their favorite thing is to complain, and just the squeakiest wheel gets the most grease. Just saying nay to everything. And now that they know something's happening, so they're trying to double down with the whole woke thing. Cut off your stuff. Take hormone blockers. The explorer type, if we had to choose one of the races, there's been the explorer type of thoughts and everything, and going out on distant voyages to undiscovered lands. This discover type has been this color. No, evil. Nay. A friend of mine that is also an outdoorer, aka pulling Jesus in a Buddha, or some people say homeless. He was saying how they teach that the body is ill, and they just focus on the mind. And in a way, they kind of spread that too, and that made the mind ill, and therefore the body. But we don't crane paint anymore, do we? Hell no, we don't crane paint. Because we's be ripe for the meaning of the earth, yo.